back up to one thing Dane was saying, and that's around, why is there private equity to begin with? One thing that helped me originally think about this is, if think about from a public company perspective, if your parents own stock in Microsoft and they had to sell that for, say, sending you to college, right? They needed cash in the near term, right? They could go to the markets and they can sell that stock, and anybody will buy it, right? I'll buy it, somebody else will buy it, whoever thinks that Microsoft's going to do wants to buy it. They'll get some, what we call liquidity, in order to pay for your college tuition. Say, for instance, instead of your parents owning shares of Microsoft, your parents owned, a small business, or a medium-sized business, or a really large business, but it was their business. They owned 100%, and they needed to send you to college. There's no market, readily available public market for them to say, I want to sell, 2% of my company so that I can put my son or daughter through college. And so that's what we do. So we create a private market. We and hundreds of other private equity firms around the world. Basically, our job is to make sure that if your parents want to sell 2%, 10%, 20% of the business, or up to 100% of the business, they can go do that. Now, the challenge is, and without going into too much detail, it's not a very efficient market. So that's both good and bad for us. It's inefficient because it's hard for us to find your parents. They have to either call us or they have to call a broker to say we want somebody to sell a chunk of our business. And we have to do the same thing. We have to call businesses like your parents' business, or we have to call brokers to say, can you find us a business where we can put some of this money into a growing enterprise? And as a result, because it takes time and it can take months for some of these things to happen, we expect a little bit lower of a price than if the business were being sold in a very efficient market, like a public market. And so that's part of the reason why our performance does exceed the public markets, because it's less efficient. And if you're in economics, there's sort of those costs, transaction costs, are a little bit higher, and so as a result, we have to make a little bit more money for it to be worth our time. So that's very high level how we go about it.